Hi, James here and welcome back to Bespoke Airsoft. Now today we're looking at the Aries Striker sniper rifle. We've got a lot of questions about these. We've sold plenty of them, they seem to be really popular, but the main question is how do I upgrade the power if, like you say, you're not going for one of our Striker packages, our Recon package, sorry, where we do all the bits that you need to beforehand as well as fit as a scope of iPod. I've got a bipod on here at the moment just to make sure it stays up and steady, but I'll be talking through some of the tips as well. On the quickest and easiest way to upgrade the power with taking the cylinder and putting the cylinder back in, also with a few pointers here and there. We've had a few reports of some slam firing and I'll tell you how to get rid of that as we get into the video, so stay tuned. We'll get the camera panned in and we'll go through the upgrade. So you've got your sniper on the bench, and first of all you want to take the magazine out just as we do any gun work. And then with these, the bolt assembly is really simple to take out. So what you want to do, you want to grab something small like a screwdriver and Allen key, and you'll see the pin on the right hand side here just in front of the handle. So if you just give that a push, and then as you'll see on the opposite side, your fire indicator, the whole assembly there is sticking out. So you just pull that out, and then all you do, lift your handle up, pull it all the way to the rear, and the bolt assembly will come out. Easy as that. Now before we get into upgrading the bolt, the spring in the bolt, I just want to talk you through the adjustable trigger on these snipers. So we have seen a few cases where they've come from the factory and the triggers have been adjusted even the slightest away in. And what it causes is the gun to slam fire. Now what slam firing is when you pull the bolt back, it latches onto the sear, and as you go to push the bolt forward, the piston comes loose and just slams straight into the front of the cylinder. So if you want to avoid that, you can just do these quick steps. Now with all the Allen keys on these snipers, if you just open the cap, you've got both Allen keys in there in case you haven't got anything else to hand. So what we'll do, we'll actually take the larger of the two out, and then we're just going to undo the screw that's located behind the trigger. So they're a bit tight straight out of the box. It's quite a long screw as well. So you just want to remove that, and then with the trigger card you see here, you just want to pull that up and you'll hear it come loose like that, and then just pull it towards the rear of the gun, and you just give it a little bit of a jiggle and it'll come free like that. Pop that to one side, and then what you'll see, if I zoom in here, is the sear adjustment just here. So the problem is the sears, although the piston has a 90-degree flat on it, which many upgraded snipers, anyone who's running like a high powered sniper, you always upgrade to a 90-degree sear system. So the piston has a 90-degree angle on it, but the sear is still sat around 45 degrees. Now the sears are steel, but why they've done the 45-degree angle on that I really don't know. Now when you upgrade to 90-degree sears in say the VSR series and so have you, the 90-degree sears sit straight up like that, and then as the piston sits on the sear like that, as you pull the trigger the sear is allowed to go forward in the direction of the piston and the piston goes down the cylinder. Now with these, with a 45-degree sear, it doesn't go with the piston, it sort of comes down, so it sort of creates like a bit of a wear on the piston and the sear. So although these have got like a 90-degree angle on the pistons, the sears are still sat at like a 45-degree angle like that. And then as you pull the trigger, it doesn't come forward with the piston, it comes down, so it sort of manoeuvres down like that, and then the piston goes forward. So when upgrading the spring with these, if you're going to a high powered spring bumping anywhere up between 450 to 500 feet per second, and you do have the trigger adjusted slightly, so when you adjust the trigger it brings the sear down slightly to make the trigger pull lighter. What I recommend is if you are upgrading these, whether you're going to 450, 500 feet per second, just loosen the Allen key. Just pop the Allen key in there and just wind it out till the hex is flat with the trigger box. That way it's going to have no adverse effect on the sear. It's not going to be bringing it down a little bit. The sear is going to be able to travel all the way to the top. We found with doing this it solves all those problems that you have. And then all you need to do is take your trigger guard, push it back into place, clicks down like that, and then tighten the screw back up. You may not have to do it on yours if you are upgrading it yourself, but while you've got the bolt out, a quick 5 minutes, just check it, make sure it's wound out, because the last thing you want on the field is when you go to reload, is you're going to slam fire and then doing it for the rest of the game or whatever. So we've done that. We'll flip that back over, and then all you'll need to take the cylinder heads off these, you don't need any special tools with 2 pins. You can do it with a set of needle nose pliers. So I'm using what you're going to have accessible to yourself, and as you put the pressure on there, you basically turn it against the cylinder head. Now I've had some reports getting back to us saying how you're removing the cylinder heads because they're just really tight or they're just stuck. What I will say is if you are getting stuck and you can't turn that off, just apply a little bit of heat to the top 5-6 millimeters of the cylinder, and if there is any Loctite on there, it'll just loosen that off. So just wind the cylinder head off. There we go. Take your cylinder head, your piston out, and you've got your standard spring and your spring guide. So pop your spring to one side, grab your new upgrade spring. This being an M140, puts out about 460 to 480 feet per second depending on the seal on the piston. Just put on your spring guide, pop that back in, piston on. And these have a general amount of lube, so I'm not going to put any new grease or lube or anything on there, and then just push that down, and then you want to be careful not to cross thread your cylinder. The easiest way I found to make sure you don't, is if you just wind it out as if you're coming loose, you'll feel the thread click, and that's on the first part of the thread, and just tighten that up. Pop your pliers in there, just make it nice and tight. Now as we go to put the piston assembly back in, I'm just going to zoom in here so you can see this because it can get a little bit tricky. Oops, too far. So what you want to do is you want to put your handle to the top as if you're pulling it up to reload it, and then put it into the receiver, and then with that bolt, because it has a little fin, on the back of the bolt here which sits in a recess, have that flat as if you're pushing it in, so it's going to be completely flush. And then what you want to do is you want to just rotate it about 30 degrees, and then what you'll have to do is you have to put something down through the receiver just to hit the sear to let the cylinder pass. So you'll feel it as you go down. It's just a little metal piece that sticks up. Just pop that down with your finger and then push it in, and then as you get to about here, you want to rotate the cylinder back to true. You'll hear a click, push it back in, pop the handle down, you're done. Simple as that. And then take your fire indicator and your pin here, live indicator, sorry, and then just pop it back in. You hear it pop. So just give it a quick test. Everything's fine, no slam firing, plenty of power. So your upgrade's all done and you're ready to go. So if you've got any more questions on this platform or anything else you want to know, how you want to further disassemble it, it's very simple. It's just the 2 screws you see there. The stock system will come off and then you can access your hop unit and your barrel. But if you do have any more questions, just feel free to send them in. I hope I've covered everything with the cylinder for the guy that was having the trouble getting the cylinder head off. But like I say, if you just send me an email, I'll run you through step by step on how to do this process. But thanks for tuning in again. If there's any more videos or any more questions you want answered on video, because it's not always easy to do it on an email, like with a cylinder head, it's, you know, you can type it but it might not always be interpreted the right way. So if you do have anything you want us to show you or run you through, just send a message over on the Facebook page or on the website, email, and we'll get back to you as soon as, and we'll get the video camera rolling and get it underway. So thanks for tuning in. Feel free to subscribe and comment below on what you think. If you've got any pointers, are we doing it as good as you believe? I hope we are. And then just stay tuned for more content, which will be coming up soon. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye bye.